Welcome to the Virtual Manager podcast. My name's Anna Russell. I'm an artist manager and founder of The Virtual Manager. Throughout my career, I've developed and managed several music artists from new unsigned acts right through to globally successful ones. This podcast is for all unmanaged or independent music artists who want to start, build, or grow a successful, sustainable music career. Simply listing your gig online is not promotion. Whilst visibility is vital, that alone isn't going to sell out your gig. This episode of the Virtual Manager podcast aims to give you effective action steps you can take to do so, beyond the given things such as posting on social media. So if you're listening to this, I'm going to assume that you will be heavily promoting your gig to all your fans, followers, and mailing list when the time comes. But ahead of that, whilst you're still in the planning stages for your gig, there are some things to consider that will help you to go on and sell it out. The first of these is to underplay the venue. A much used tactic within the music industry is to underplay a venue, which essentially means choosing a venue for your gig which has a lower capacity than you think you can reasonably fill. So for example, if you feel semi-confident that you could comfortably sell 150 tickets, you would play at a venue that has a capacity for only 100 or 120 people, meaning there's a very good chance that you'll sell it out. Perception often matters in this industry, and easily selling out a gig for 100 people is a much better look than struggling and failing to fill a venue for more than that. If you're in early stages or up-and-coming artist, this is just one way in which you can create that all-important hype or momentum the industry and music press look for. A sold-out, full venue is also a better and more exciting experience for your fans, so you want to be creating this as often as you can. With that in mind, this is a tactic that can be used at all stages of your career. Often when that first underplayed gig sells out, you'll see artists immediately announce a second night at the same venue or a second gig elsewhere the day after the first gig. Thus, it can allow you to turn one gig into two. It can also be used to create anticipation and demand for the next gig you play in this town or area, even if that's not till a few months later. Remember that you shouldn't be playing shows too regularly in the same area, so space them out so that the demand is there to see you. The second tip is to put tickets on sale far in advance. Now, it sounds obvious, but I see lots of artists giving themselves incredibly short deadlines in which to promote and sell a gig. In fact, you want as much time as possible. Obviously, how much time is exactly right for you depends on how engaged your fan base are and how effectively you promote the gig, but I would recommend 8 to 12 weeks as a bare minimum sales period. Before going on general sale, you may also want to consider doing a pre-sale, where you allow fans that are subscribed to your mailing list to be the first to buy tickets with a private link ahead of them going on sale to the wider public. This allows you to shift the first handful of tickets ahead of the gig even going on sale, which is a great starting point. Announcing that you are going to offer pre-sale tickets to mailing list members also has the added benefit of encouraging fans who haven't yet subscribed to do so, and therefore growing your mailing list. Remember that a mailing list is one of the only ways your fans can be counted as tangible. The third tip is to offer early bird incentives. So obviously it's a nice feeling to sell tickets as quickly as possible, but there are some other reasons why you want to incentivize people to get their tickets as early as they can. There are several benefits to doing so. One, most people wait till the last minute, and you want to accelerate the buying process where possible, so you're not getting more and more concerned as the gig draws closer and you haven't yet sold all the tickets. Two, if sales go really well and you've picked a venue where you're underplaying, see point one, you'll ideally sell out long before the gig itself. This can allow you to book and put on sale your next gig immediately after this one, which helps to maintain the momentum you're building. Three, selling out gigs is also a good way of creating more hype about your gigs and you as an artist, and increases demand for tickets for your next show. Start your early bird ticket sale price on the day your gig goes on general sale. Run it for a limited time, for example, the first 2 weeks of ticket release, rather than for a limited number of tickets. Otherwise, it can reflect badly on you if your early bird tickets were for the first 50 buyers, but they're still available weeks and weeks later. You can try running a few tiers of ticket prices as well. So for example, maybe for the first 2 weeks of ticket release, the tickets are £7. Then for the next 3 to 4 weeks, they're £10. And then for the final 2 weeks of sale, they're £12. Moving on, the fourth tip is for once tickets are on sale. And this is to try running a competition or two. So why not run a competition on your social media where you offer a free pair of tickets to your forthcoming gig? To be in with a chance of winning those tickets, you ask your fans to like and comment on the social media post, and perhaps you get them to tag the friend that they would also bring along to your gig. Now, this increases visibility on the post and in turn the gig, and it encourages engagement. However, it also has another benefit in identifying all those people who have an interest in coming to the gig. So you know that if they enter the competition by taking this very simple action of commenting on the post, that they have an interest in coming to your gig. So what you can then do is you can contact all of the people who responded and engaged with that post, but who didn't win the pair of tickets, and invite them to the gig with a personal message, including the ticket link. The personal touch goes a very long way, and for early stages artists in particular, you will likely find that the personal approach is the most effective. So why not send everybody who entered the competition a direct message with the ticket link and saying that you're sorry that they didn't win, but you would love to still see them at the gig. You can, of course, run more than one competition, but these should be of different types. To give you some ideas for these, how about offering a small piece of merchandise or some type of goodie bag to everyone who buys a ticket before a certain date? Or you could run some type of prize draw where everyone who buys a ticket is entered into a competition to win a living room gig from you, and you announce the winner from the stage towards the end of your set at that gig. The fifth and final step to selling out your gigs is to create fear of missing out. Now, this is something you can do before, during, and after your gig. Now, the former of these will help sell out the show, and the latter will help you sell out your next shows. So let's focus on the present first. Is the venue that you're playing in special or quirky? If so, show people it beforehand by posting images and videos of your venue on social media. The same goes for any of the incredible support acts you have playing that night, or the brilliant bar that the venue has, or show off the merch that you'll be selling and post about any special guests or collaborators you have performing at that gig. So really show people what they're going to be missing out on if they don't attend. To continue on that theme of creating fear of missing out, on the night itself, you could live stream your set for any fans who aren't in the area, and you can do this simply on Facebook Live or Instagram, or create a video of the night which you'll share afterwards. You could also ask the people that come to the gig to take and share photos of the night, tagging you in their Instagram stories. You can then reshare all of these so that your followers see from the people that attended just what a great gig you put on. There are many more tips on how to create fear of missing out around all of your gigs and also all of your activities as an artist in the Virtual Manager membership site, but these are just some ideas to get you started. So, will you be trying any of these tips to help you sell out your next gig? If so, I'd love to hear how you get on. That's it for this very first episode of the Virtual Manager podcast. Episode 2, which is about what to do when writer's block strikes, is out tomorrow, so do join me back here then. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Virtual Manager podcast. If you've found it useful, I invite you to check out the Virtual Manager membership site. The Virtual Manager is an essential resource for independent music artists who want to start, build, or grow a successful, sustainable music career. It ensures that you have the foundations of that music career in place, then helps you to build on those to achieve your music career goals. With monthly music industry training, a library of tools and resources, A&R feedback on your music, access to live Q&As with me, plus an active supportive community of like-minded artists, the Virtual Manager is the perfect place to be for any unmanaged or independent artist. The Virtual Manager relaunches very shortly, so to get early bird access at the lowest membership price, join the waiting list now at thevirtualmanager.co.uk. Finally, please take a minute to review and subscribe to this podcast. It helps more independent music artists to find us.